Today, we have the opportunity to welcome leaders from business and labor here to be with us to talk about this vital issue and to talk about the economic benefits of immigration reform, as well as the other benefits that we have here to our society and to Long Island. It's my great privilege and opportunity to welcome Representative Tim Bishop from here in Congressional District 1.
Great promise. So we have a real shot here at building the case for comprehensive immigration reform in terms of, first off, from the perspective of what is humane is very important. Secondly, from the perspective of what is in our economic interest as a country. And thirdly, what is in our interest from a national security perspective. All of these are issues that are coming together at just the right time.
So I think that we in our labor movement, in our labor union, we've been talking to employers, to responsible employers, to the high-road employers that are sitting with us, telling us, let's work together to see how can we get to this point, so we can marginalize the employers that are irresponsible, that are basically putting an unfair competition to our responsible employers, right? So in that sense, we have a very solid alliance in terms of moving that.
And then on the specific issue, when it comes to, say, the example that was just mentioned, when most of the, say, buildings out here are owned by large landowners or real estate investment trusts, I don't think most of the tenants, which would be more of my members, when they're negotiating a lease for a building, pay a whole lot of attention to, well, what's your policy when it comes to using the services of the cleaning and maintenance companies? And are they labor, are they non-labor? What's their rights? What's their track record on treating people with dignity and respect and fair wages? And so maybe, that's something that comes out of this, more of an educational thing where, tenants become a little bit more sensitive to those types of issues.
I think Kevin will touch on that a little, saying, there are certain things that he's willing to support because that's what he needs to support, and there are also certain things that he's not going to fight against. I think if we don't put it all in the same pot, then sooner or later we're going to be fighting against what's important to us and fight against what's important to him. So I think it has to be comprehensive. It has to be. We all have to be sitting at the same table talking about what we need to see in there.
But if we can come to terms in general, then I think that there's an opportunity. And none of us, as responsible business leaders, it wouldn't make much sense not to take this opportunity and run with it.
We should not accept any type of intolerance, and we need to be tolerant as a region and as a community, and not just, it's because it's the right thing to do, just as human beings, sitting in the church here, it's what we're all sort of told how to treat one another. But also, it goes to the whole image of a region as well. You never want to be known as a region that is intolerant and it doesn't celebrate this diversity, because that's, from an economic perspective, that's not good either.